Hey, Jobstream family, Jess here with my business partner and co-founder, Adonis McReynolds. And today's video is one for the business owners out there. So if you're a business owner looking to scale and grow and make more money, make more sales, serve more people, you're gonna need a staff for that. You're gonna need a team. And a lot of times you're gonna wanna work with a recruiter to get you the most qualified candidate in the least amount of your time so you can focus on what you do best and let us do what we do best. So in this video, we wanted to talk about our 5-step process so you know as a business owner exactly what working with us is like and why we're the right choice for you. So I'm going to hand it over to Adonis. He's the expert in this and we're going to go over our 5-step process today.
Yep, appreciate that, Jess. The handoff was very sweet, and we're definitely excited about what we're going to be able to do and what we have been doing for businesses all around the United States. Now, in terms of our recruitment process, I wanted to make sure we highlighted that because at the end of the day, it's great that we have great rates. You can see our rates videos and other videos breaking down our recruitment like fees and all that kind of stuff in another video that we have called Supercharge Your Recruiting in 2026. I think that before 2026, I think that's the video on the YouTube. Check the business owners playlist for that. But in this particular video, we're going to be talking about the how, right? Obviously, we claim that we can get you really, really awesome professionals for your business, depending on what you're looking for. We do tend to staff a lot of sales related type of folks. So the question is, how do you guys do that? How do you guys go about that process, right? So the first thing I'm going to say right off the bat is that we work on retainer, right? And this really sets the stage, sets the tone for the recruiting relationship. When you work on retainer, it shows that you trust the recruiter. It shows that you're allowing them to really focus on doing their job, and you're basically putting a statement out there, I believe in you, go get me that person, right? And in order for someone to really believe and trust in the process, they have to know what the process is. And that's what this video is going to be about. But just wanted to let all our viewers know we don't work on contingency. Contingency is the easiest way to really kind of find yourself in a waste of time if you're a recruiter. So many jobs I've worked on in contingency have been canceled. Some other ones, like it was just a total, client from hell. It's just not worth it. You're not going to really get anywhere as a recruiter if you're only working on contingency basis with people. So retainer it is. Now, getting into our process, step one, we have to get to know the individuals that are hiring for the role, right? If we're going to actually staff adequately, we have to understand the culture. We have to understand how the company operates. We have to understand what are the challenges that your company is dealing with when it comes to your general work or getting sales or whatever it is that the particular person's going to come in and do. What are going to be the biggest challenges for that person within the first 90 days that they get there, and how can they survive? Like how can they thrive and continue to make impact in the company? So if a person doesn't know that and they just get started on a search because they're given some certain job criteria and they don't dive deep, that's already setting yourself up for failure. And unfortunately, a lot of contingency operations or contingency agreements kind of work like this, right? It's just very rush, like, hey, let's get some clients in the door. But a conversation is not had between executives and recruiters regarding what is going to actually take place. What are the challenges? What are the specific things that a person needs to see? So we need to understand the culture. We need to understand who it is that the person is going to be coming in and working for and reporting to. And your goals as well. Like if you're trying to make, 150K in like 3 months, like the person coming aboard needs to know that, right? They need to know like they're going to need to hit the ground running if that's the expectation. So the second step, once we've met with the executives, gotten to understand what they believe, their philosophy, their culture, all of those little details, we want to understand the scope of the work, right? So it's one thing to understand like, hey, here's what we need them to do, and here's our culture. But then, like, here's the way we get that done, right? Because oftentimes, if you're hiring somebody, they have their own process, right? They have their own thing that they've been doing for XYZ amount of time, and so they're gonna have to probably change their work habits if they want to come and work for your organization. So we got to figure out what is the scope of the work? What are they going to be doing day to day? Are they going to be cold calling for you? Are they going to be doing data entry? Is part of their job leading a team? And who are the team members that they're going to need to lead? There's a lot going on there that if we just don't know and we're just going out and willy nilly picking somebody, this is all information that's crucial to have, because let's say we get somebody else who's successful at another company, but their day to day role is different than what their role is going to be at your company. Just because they were successful at that company doesn't mean they're going to be successful at yours. And scope of work has a lot to do with that, right? So if they're doing things at your company that they didn't do in their previous company, regardless of how successful they were, it's not going to translate. So we have to figure out what that is and make sure that we're clear on those things. And just those two things alone is going to maximize our ability to find the right person for your company. The third thing we're going to do is we're going to launch into strategic recruitment mode of top-notch people. How do we describe top-notch professionals? Well, a lot of them have recent relevant experience to the job that's at hand. They've worked in a similar type of environment. They've seen a level of success. They have good reviews from people they've worked with in the past. We would consider this person. They usually are working for either a competitor or a solid company, right? So if you're just finding people that are just kind of random out there that haven't really worked with any company similar to yours, the odds are a little bit less that they're going to be successful in your company. It's not impossible. We do see hires come in all the time, that are just kind of random and don't have the experience that one would think that they need to have that do well. But that's not the majority. I would say the majority of people that actually end up being successful are the ones who have been put in that situation before or have the work ethic to be able to do that. So, when it comes to our recruiting, we want to find people with relevant experience. We want to find people who are a good match for what we've discussed prior. We want to find people that are working for competitors, ideally, and have industry experience. A book of business is also really helpful as well. If you come already preloaded with a ton of like contacts that would love to buy from the new service, that's an A plus plus, right? That's a great candidate to bring on. The salary also has to match, right? Like if the company's offering 150 grand, and then we're going and grabbing somebody whose expectations are 190, right? Like that's too much of a disparity right there, unless the company's just willing to give up the farm for that person, right? So it's all about finding matches and all those things. And when you find a good match in all those areas, and you find someone with high character and somebody who demonstrates a level of passion and energy for what they do, subject matter expertise, that matters. And so that goes into point 4, which is matchmaking, right? So matchmaking is making sure that there's a good relationship between both parties. That if the hiring manager is a certain way, we're hiring people who not only fit the job search criteria, but also would be able to coexist with that person, right? I've had experiences where, you have this really peculiar type of a boss, right? And it takes a certain type of personality to be able to deal with that person every single day and be fine. We have a lot of different personalities in today's culture, and some personalities just are not equipped to handle a more intense workforce or a more intense work culture where everything is a little bit more serious. Some people want to have more fun than other people, right? So all of these things, being able to read people, understand people, get to know people, this is all relationship based. Recruitment processes are all relationship based. It's like being a dating coach in a sense, right? You're trying to pick somebody who could go well in a marriage, or like you're a dating expert, right? And you're setting, I don't know if you've ever seen that show, Jess, like Married at First Sight. Have you ever seen or heard of that show?
Yeah, I've seen a few. I've seen a few.
Yeah, it's very much like that, right? I mean, the consequences are pretty detrimental, right, for picking the wrong spouse, and the consequences are pretty detrimental for picking the wrong employee. So in a very real way, like you need experts, you need people who understand relationship dynamics and understand like culture. So all those things that we talked about before, they lend itself to our success in picking the right fit for your company. And then lastly, negotiating the terms, right? So once you get to the offer point, both sides like each other. We play our part in, the back and forth exchange and making sure that, we do the very best that we can to get a great offer on the table for both sides, and working together to make sure that we close that gap between the two parties, marry them off, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, have a great day, right? So, um, Really simple process. The way that we go about finding people like this is we actually use automation and unique technology. Certainly, everybody uses LinkedIn to connect with people, but we have some unique strategies as well. We actually work with several data partners. We know I have a humongous network of people that are really great at what they do. Primarily sales. So if you are looking for sales, like I mean, it's the likelihood is very high that I have someone in my connections that would be a good fit for what you got going on. But again, we won't really know that until we've engaged. We have some commitment on the side of the company that they're willing to work on retainer and want to see, the kind of success that we can have with them. So, any thoughts on all of that, Jess?
Honestly, I think it sounds great. I love that we're transparent. We're explaining exactly what it is, what we do, how we do it. I think everything makes perfect sense, and it's a no-brainer with the prices and the five-step process together. Like, I really don't think you're getting anything better on the market for recruiting out there today. So, call us, message us, send us. We could book a call through our website, jobstreamai.com, and we're always open to chat, have a discovery call, and see how we can best meet your needs for all your recruiting purposes.
Yep, get to know us. Don't wait around. It's high time. We're coming into Q4, and if you want a really solid hire, my best tip that I can offer employers is to get involved in the hiring process. Don't leave it only to people that don't have much to do with the role. Get involved and see what kind of amazing success you can have when you do.
Yeah, absolutely. As a business owner ourselves, we understand that your business is only as good as your employees. Having a bad employee will literally destroy you. So it's very, very important that everyone is happy doing their work, that they do it well, and that's how you're going to get success. It really is. Like, I value my employees so much because I know how important it is to work with really good people.
That's right. All righty. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.